Good morning again, guys. So that is the biggest question here today, is whether this ruling undercuts the president's leverage and whether other countries will continue to come to the negotiating table. But the message we've been hearing this morning from administration officials is that everything is business as usual despite this ruling. We heard from Peter Navarro, from Kevin Hassett, both on other networks earlier this morning, both saying that negotiations are continuing. Hassett sort of derided these judges as activist judges, saying there could be little hiccups here or there, but they shouldn't concern the negotiations. And that it's certainly not going to affect these talks because in the end, people know President Trump is 100% serious. We've also just this morning seen a little bit of movement with a number of trading partners, suggesting that these officials are right and that the talks are ongoing. That was the Canadian Prime Minister. Carney reacted to the ruling this morning, welcoming it, but also criticizing the other tariffs on metals and autos that he says are unjustified, that will remain in place. The Japanese Prime Minister just held about a 25-minute call with the president. We got a readout from the Japanese side talking trade, so we know they're still in touch. We also know with India, things are moving there, that a U.S. trade team, it was announced on the wires this morning, will head to India for further talks this week. And guys, I know the question that you've been tossing around some this morning is just whether and why other countries would negotiate or would offer up concessions to this administration after so many of these tariffs have just been deemed illegal and outside of the president's authority. But from talking to some industry trade experts and others in the field, the answer here is really going to be certainty. So take a look, I think we can pull this up, at just how many tariffs remaining in place. Yes, many of these now are likely on pause, depending on how the appeal process goes and how the stay goes. But there are still a number remaining in place on steel and aluminum, on cars and car parts, and a number that are still in the pipeline on semiconductors and critical minerals. So all of that still in place here, and amid all this uncertainty, that's the reason folks are telling me that countries would still come to the table, is to try to still get a deal to get a little bit of certainty moving forward.